What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new episode of The 8 Below Show. Welcome everyone to 8 Below. Thanks for being here, guys, to the best entertainment-related show here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. We've talked a lot on the YouTube channel about Dead Space, guys, and I want to continue talking about it because there's been people asking me whether I believe a Dead Space 4 will be announced at some point in 2021 or in the foreseeable future. So I want to talk about that, guys, and I think, when we break these things down, you kind of have to give some context. You also have to look at the past history to kind of predict or sometimes just try to figure out whether or not you're going to see a continuation of any given IP out there. So let's get into it, guys. So I'll be taking reference to some of the facts, the numbers and such based, upon Dead Space as a franchise on Wikipedia. And so, guys, it's been a while since we saw a continuation of the Dead Space franchise, and it's one of those franchises, for those of you who have been a part of my channel and kind of watched the journey here, that I'm a big fan of horror games, horror movies. I absolutely love them, and I think there's a really, the audience is growing in a drastic way for horror games, and Dead Space was one of the tops, for me at least, when it came to just this franchise as a whole. Absolutely loved Dead Space, and I want to see a continuation of it, but we've got to look at the past, we've got to look at the present, and then kind of be able to somewhat predict the future. So guys, the very first Dead Space was a game that I absolutely loved. I mean, this is a game, guys, that we have to go all the way back to 2008 to even the very beginning. It's hard to believe it was 2008 when Dead Space 1 came out. Two things though. Number one, guys, generally speaking, there are one of two things that can dictate whether you'll see a sequel or a continuation of any given franchise. Number one is the sales. It's all about money at the end of the day, guys, for these companies. And number two is the reception. How did people respond to the game and such? And so if you have both of those things, usually you'll get a sequel. If one of those is weak, then sometimes it's kind of 50-50. And if both of them do bad, then you're in some trouble. Well, if we go to Dead Space, the very first one, really, guys, from Metacritic, 89 out of 100 on the Xbox 360, 88 out of 100. Metacritic, of course, guys, is, the review aggregate website. And then on PC, 86 out of 100. So pretty good, especially for a brand new horror game, guys. When we look at even the movie industry, the horror movies, generally speaking, don't get very good reviews like on Rotten Tomatoes and things of that nature, because just there's kind of this notion around horror that, they're not really, as far as reviews go, they don't usually give them great reviews for one reason or another. And I'm not saying that's the same thing here with horror games, but I think going all the way back to 2008, you can maybe see a little bit of that. If Dead Space came out in today's day and age, I think you would see some really good reviews overall. And there were some good ones also, guys, from IGN, 8.7 out of 10, GameSpot, 9 out of 10, Game Informer, 9.25 out of 10. I mean, those are incredible. So that's number one. Did really good from a review perspective. Then the sales perspective. At release, Dead Space reached 10th place in North American game sales, compiled in November by the MPD Group, recording sales of 193,000 units. It was the only new property to enter the top 10. It was the only Electronic Arts property within that group. In early analysis, low sales of the title were attributed to strong market competition at the time, though sales improved over time due to positive critical reception. By December, the game had sold 421,000 units across all platforms. The game, along with Mirror's Edge, was considered a commercial disappointment following its extensive marketing. Electronic Arts CEO John said that the company would have to lower its expected income for the fiscal year due to multiple commercial disappointments, including Dead Space. In February 2009, Electronic Arts CFO Eric Brown confirmed that all versions of Dead Space had sold 1 million copies worldwide. So, when we look at it, guys, the first game, even from the very beginning, they were saying this was actually, you know, a commercial disappointment. They did not make as much money as they were expecting. Now, over time, it did better and better. You know, sold at first 193,000 units, goes up to 421,000 units. Then, you know, about a year later, you're looking at, you know, 1 million copies sold. And that's pretty good for back then, especially a brand new IP in the horror genre. So pretty well overall. Then the second game did even better. And then when we got to the third one, this is where, you know, I think it kind of was the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. So guys, Dead Space 3 came out in 2013. And this is, you know, you've heard, I'll kind of go over this really quickly. You know, my thoughts on Dead Space 3. I thought that they were almost chasing a trend, that being EA and Visceral were chasing trends instead of staying true to what made Dead Space great. They went away from the horror elements and they made it more of an action game with some horror elements, not a horror game with action elements, which is what the first two games were. And so when you go away from the core of what a game is all about, you're going to start losing people, and that's what I think happened here. So if we go to, you know, Dead Space 3, the critical reception in response was actually pretty good as well. I mean, overall, guys, got a 77 on Xbox 360 out of 100. On Metacritic, you got 78 out of 100 on PC, PS3, 76 out of 100. That's pretty good. IGN gave it a 7.8 out of 10, GameSpot 8 out of 10, Game Informer 9.75 out of 10, Eurogamer 7 out of 10. The worst was probably VideoGamer.com, which gave it a 5 out of 10. So that'll work, though. I mean, that kind of response, that'll work. But the second part of it is, once again, the sales. Because honestly, guys, Dead Space 1 could have been the only game that came out in this franchise because of, you know, just the weak sales and the weak expectations that came with that IP. And it was a disappointment to EA. And so we might never have seen that had they, you know, not, you know, continued at some point or another based upon, you know, obviously they got more sales that came in, but they could have, you know, they could have canceled any future projects for Dead Space right after the first game. But in the United States and the United Kingdom, Dead Space 3 was the top-selling game in February 2013. It sold 605,000 copies in North America during its debut month. The title, along with Crysis 3, another EA title that was released in the same month, failed to meet the company's sales expectations. So look, when we look at that, and you see, once again, failed to meet the company's sales expectations. They're expecting it to make them a lot of money, and it didn't do that. The second game, guys, did great. The third game, not so much. It wasn't like they sold so X amounts of copies and it just kept on going up drastically over time like the first Dead Space did. It wasn't like that. It was pretty much, I'm not going to say a total failure, but to EA, they didn't, as far as the amount of money that they invested into the game, they probably just thought that it was pretty much a, not a failure, but did not meet what they thought, the game should have done as far as the expectations are concerned. Now, as far as the canceled sequel goes, VideoGamer.com reported information from a confidential source concerning the cancellation of Dead Space 4 following lower than anticipated sales of Dead Space 3, having fallen 26.6%. The information tallied with EA Labels president Frank comment that in general, we're thinking about how we make this a more broadly appealing franchise because ultimately you need to get to audience sizes of around 5 million to really continue to invest in an IP like Dead Space. EA's Peter Moore wrote of the story on gamesindustry.biz forum, Standard Shoddy Journalism Recipe. EA described the report as patently false. In June 2013, EA Games boss Patrick Soderlund stated that although the franchise had not been canceled and remained an important brand for the company, developer Visceral Games had not been asked to start work on a sequel and were instead involved in a new project, which was later confirmed to be Battlefield Hardline. And then, of course, on October 17, 2017, Visceral Games was shut down by EA, officially leaving the future of the series uncertain. So, let's talk about that. Here's the thing, guys. Dead Space 3, in my opinion, EA was trying too hard to chase the trend of shooters, was trying to chase action and all of that, when that's not what the game was built around. They also were behind when adding co-op and such. I think they should have added like a horde mode where you could play with your friends going up against waves and waves of necromorphs and things of that nature. Kind of like Gears of War. I think that could have been great. Having other ways to connect with the franchise outside of just the campaign. Having multiplayer PvP elements I think could have been really cool. But they failed to evolve the franchise, and when they evolved it, it was in the wrong ways, being action over horror, which is not what we wanted. And there was talk that when they were going to be working on Dead Space 4, they were going to continue in that same trajectory going towards action over horror. And so I just feel like Dead Space 4 would have been dead on arrival, so to speak. So where does that leave us, guys? Well, honestly, it's not looking too good for Dead Space. I do think there's a definite possibility that it is an IP that could come back at some point or another. However, I don't know if EA should just sell the IP. I would love to see them sell the IP so it gets, into maybe an independent developer that can really take it to incredible lengths and such. But I just don't know if EA is going to do that. Could they? They absolutely could. Or could they, bring this game back from the grave or from a limbo state with a new, team, because Visceral, of course, was shut down in 2017. So could they have a new team that works on it? Absolutely. I just don't know, guys, because if we look at the past of Dead Space, it never really met the company's expectations as far as from a sales perspective. They kept on thinking that this should have generated more money for the amount that they invested into the IP. So it's not looking too good as far as EA is concerned with bringing back Dead Space, but could they sell the IP? Could someone else, come in and try to buy it from them? I would love to see it, guys. I think it's an IP that definitely could do incredibly well, especially on the next-gen consoles and things of that nature, and especially if you added a full package to it, not just the campaign. You added co-op modes, multiplayer modes. It could be something really special. But with that, guys, could we see an announcement in 2021? Absolutely. Do I think it's likely? Probably not, unless something significantly changes here with EA, because it's been a while since we even saw a continuation of Dead Space. What would really make it change unless we heard EA sold the IP to somebody else or something along those lines. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think we'll see an announcement for Dead Space 4 anytime soon? Let me know. And for more Dead Space 4 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. For those of you who are accustomed to my channel, you know that I want to see a Call of Duty Ghost 2. And guys, look. Ghost, the first game in what I was hoping would be a long-standing, sub-series within the overall franchise of Call of Duty. We never got it, but the main reason why I wanted it was, in all honesty, I really wanted it for the campaign, the story mode, because I loved the story. It left you on one of the biggest cliffhangers in all of Call of Duty, and I don't even think it's close. And we never found out what happens after the end of Call of Duty Ghosts in the first game. So, number one, I would love to see a continuation of that. Number two, I've wanted to see the continuation of Extinction, which I personally liked more than Zombies. Still like it more than Zombies to this day, because it's something that you can beat. It's something different. I love the concepts there. So I'd love to see a continuation of Extinction. And from a multiplayer perspective, that was the weakest part, in my opinion, to Call of Duty Ghosts 1. But I think that with the updated graphics, having Infinity Ward doing this game, and kind of taking more of an approach of, kind of taking things from Modern Warfare and from that, sub-series that they've worked on for a number of years. I would love to see that, some of those things implemented here into Call of Duty Ghosts 2. But nonetheless, the question here that I'm going to bring up, and we've brought this question up a number of times now, and you guys can check out all of my Call of Duty Ghosts 2 content here on the YouTube channel, but will we see Call of Duty Ghosts 2? Is this something that we're going to see at some point or another? Could we see an announcement as soon as next year? Because Infinity Ward is the next in line to work on the next Call of Duty title. So we know at this point in time that Treyarch is Of course, they're going to be working on, none other than Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which is released, and they're going to continue updating that and servicing that. We've got Infinity Ward on the other side, though, that it's going to be their turn once again to make their next Call of Duty. There's a lot of speculation that it's another Modern Warfare, iteration or continuation of what they started there. But there's also talk that could there be a Call of Duty Ghosts 2 that is kind of underneath all of this and is kind of, not necessarily something that people are really kind of keeping an eye on. People are thinking that it's going to definitely be Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 4, whatever you want to call it. But ultimately, there is kind of this secret, I feel, that is kind of underneath everything, that maybe, just maybe, we get a Call of Duty Ghosts 2. So let's talk about that, guys. I think that when we look at Infinity Ward and we know the overall, we know the success of Modern Warfare. I mean, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, guys, did incredible for Activision, for Infinity Ward. It was huge. And Call of Duty Warzone is one of the biggest battle royales in the world. So, why try to fix something that's not broken? Why go back to Call of Duty Ghosts when you could just continue with, another Modern Warfare iteration? Well, at the end of the day, guys, no matter what Call of Duty it is that comes out, it's the best-selling game every year. When Call of Duty Ghosts came out, it was the best-selling game that year out of all the games that came out, and it's the same with every game. I mean, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which many of us think was one of the worst Call of Duties ever made, was still the number one best-selling game that year. So what I'm getting at is, no matter what they put out, there is a huge fan base of people who love Call of Duty and would certainly play Call of Duty Ghosts 2. I mean, there's absolutely something there. And I think just by, from, what I've noticed, not just on my channel, but from just people talking, like in the community forums and things of that nature, there is a real want for Call of Duty Ghosts 2. People want to see a continuation of it. Now, not everybody wants to see a continuation, but there are quite a number of people that want to see a continuation of this sub-series. So could it happen? Realistically, guys, when we look at this, two major things. Obviously, reception is huge for Activision. It's also going to be huge for Infinity Ward. And number two is the sales, right? Those are the two biggest things. So if you don't want to fix something, that isn't broken, then you stay with Modern Warfare, right? You don't need to necessarily take a leap of faith that Call of Duty goes to, because you're not going to know how well it's going to do. If you continue moving forward with Modern Warfare, continuing to service, of course, the Battle Royale side with Warzone, you can pretty much guarantee the success moving forward of Call of Duty. And so why not just make another Modern Warfare? If you wanted, though, to kind of, because obviously Warzone's being integrated into Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, you could easily do a Ghost 2 and have that integrated into Warzone. You don't necessarily have to do another Modern Warfare. From a sales perspective, guys, it makes more sense, to me at least, to make another Modern Warfare. And the same with Treyarch the following year, which would be 2022, making another Call of Duty Black Ops title, because Black Ops and Modern Warfare are the two biggest sub-series in the overall franchise of Call of Duty, and it's not even close. So it makes more sense to do that. Would I like to see Call of Duty Ghosts 2? Absolutely. I want to see the continuation of it without a doubt. I just don't know if it's going to happen when you just have Infinity Ward and then, of course, Treyarch kind of going back and forth now. Sledgehammer Games is working on the campaign for Black Ops Cold War. Raven Software's over there as well. So you got Infinity Ward kind of by themselves. Sure, they're going to probably be working with Sledgehammer Games on the next title. They'll probably be working with people, other developers. But just overall, guys, I feel that I'm optimistic. I would love to see Call of Duty Ghosts 2, but I think that they're really going on a leap of faith here, and I don't think Activision is really feeling that. They want things that are more for sure, like they are going to make their projected sales and things of that nature are going to exceed expectations, which is exactly what Modern Warfare did, and Black Ops Cold War certainly you would think is going to be the same kind of thing when those numbers come out. So I'm very hopeful, and I think it would be smart for them to do it, but at the same time, if they're just looking at the bottom line, the numbers and all of that, it doesn't make any sense to do Ghosts or to do a Ghost 2. It makes sense to continue Modern Warfare and then, of course, following that up with another Black Ops title. But how far can they go with that until it starts to get kind of stale and people want something new, like an Advanced Warfare 2, a Call of Duty Ghost 2, things of that nature. And so I'm optimistic about a Ghost 2. I think if it was done well, it could be something really special. But, fingers crossed, guys. Let's hope. But I think at the end of the day, it really comes down to the community. We have to be voicing our opinion of what we want. If you want another Modern Warfare title, then definitely voice your opinion to the developers, to the publishers. The same thing can be said if you want a Call of Duty Ghost 2. You got to voice that. No matter what game it is out there, guys, that you're passionate about and that you love and you want to see a continuation of that franchise, you've got to voice your opinion. And you can really building communities that voice their opinions and such of wanting something greenlit that can go a long way. Sure, some developers don't listen necessarily to what the community is saying as far as the next title and things of that nature, but you would be surprised in a lot of different developers out there taking feedback from the community and kind of running with it in certain ways, especially if there's a big enough community that wants something. So never give up hope that a Ghost 2 will come out at some point or another. I don't know if it's going to be next year. Maybe, but I'll be sure to give you guys more information as it comes out. And with that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think. Do you want a Call of Duty Ghost 2? Would you rather have another Modern Warfare title? Let me know. And for more Call of Duty Ghost 2 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Another title we've talked a lot about is Titanfall. And I know a lot of you out there, myself included, want to see a continuation of this franchise. And guys, we've gotten some decent news. Then right after we get some good news about a potential Titanfall 3, then we get some bad news. And it kind of goes back and forth on a consistent basis. Well, I want to talk about in, this segment of the show, will we see a Titanfall 3? Is it something that could come out, and when can we expect it? So let's talk about it. Guys, obviously, when we kind of start giving our predictions and things of that nature, it's going to be my opinion here, and I would love to hear yours in the comment section down below. Let's get a real conversation going. I think it's important, guys, that if you want to see a Titanfall 3, that you express your opinion, you express that you want it, whether it's in the comment section of this video, whether it is, directly, tweeting at, Respawn, whomever it is, guys, just, those movements that come out, guys, with the hashtag, Titanfall 3, or tweeting at the developers, or just commenting on YouTube videos that talk about it, it really gets conversation going. And what ends up happening, guys, is that, the more that the developers see that, they see that there's definitely something there, and then they think more about, creating the continuation if they haven't already thought about it. And I think Titanfall 3 is certainly one that is on the minds over at Respawn Entertainment. And so here's the deal. Titanfall 3, we have continued to hear speculation, rumors, and rampant people talking about it without a doubt, and the rumblings that this is a title that is being worked on at this current point in time over at Respawn. Now, Respawn has, of course, stated that they are not working on a Titanfall 3. They said it multiple times. They are working specifically on Apex Legends, and they are trying to bring, more characters and things of that nature from the Titanfall games into Apex Legends. And so if that's true, that's a real bummer. But we've also seen leaks that have come out just from people finding different, Easter eggs and things of that nature in Apex Legends. A lot of people are starting to leak images from, that are allegedly, coming from Respawn, the next project, and it seems to be Titanfall-esque, Titanfall 3 potentially. So what can we really take from all of this? Well, number one is that if Respawn, are they trying to kind of lead us astray? Do they want us to think it's not Apex, but they actually are working on a Titanfall 3 and they just don't want us to know that yet? Maybe they aren't working on it at all. They just want to work on Apex because that is what's bringing in a lot of revenue at this point for Respawn, which is awesome. And look, I have no issue with Apex Legends. My biggest issue with Battle Royale is that it's just a single game mode. I like it when there's different maps and you're able to play, large scale, play on large scale maps and then small scale maps. You're able to like have more to do outside of that Battle Royale experience. And that's been my biggest gripe with BR up to this point. I really like having it. I just think that there needs to be more to it, like Call of Duty. With Call of Duty Warzone is great as a BR, but if I don't want to play Warzone anymore, I can of course play multiplayer on a number of different maps. I can play Gunfight, I can play Search and Destroy, I can play Hardpoint, I can play all these different game modes outside of that. And see, Apex has nothing like that. Now sure, you can go back and play Titanfall 2 or one of the other, of course Titanfall or Titanfall 2, but all I'm saying is that I just would like to have more to it than just the BR experience. And so a Titanfall 3 would certainly do that. And I think that Apex could certainly promote Titanfall 3, and Titanfall 3 could help continue to promote Apex and kind of be integrated together. So do I think Titanfall 3 is going to happen? First of all, I do. I really do, guys. I think there is a lot of people talking about Titanfall 3, a lot of people who want it. Now, EA and Respawn could easily just say, look, we're making a lot off of Apex. Let's just continue doing this. Don't fix what's not broken. Let's just keep on doing this for, seasons and seasons to come. We'll add things from the Titanfall universe. No reason to kind of, make a whole new Titanfall game when we might run into the same thing we did last time, which I believe was, obviously when Vince Zampella and the guys over at Respawn wanted to release the game, that being Titanfall 2, they release it between Battlefield and Call of Duty, two of the biggest FPSs in the world. Call of Duty being the biggest. Battlefield, you could argue, is one of the biggest as well. And they release it in between those two releases. And so everyone had to pick between Titanfall 2, Battlefield, or Call of Duty. And everyone who loves Battlefield is going to buy Battlefield. Everyone who loves Call of Duty is going to buy Call of Duty. And Titanfall would be the odd man out. And so all I'm saying is that it was terrible the way in which the release of Titanfall 2. I think it did not do it justice. It should have released months before, and that would have really given it time to kind of build momentum. And it didn't do that. And I really fault EA and Respawn for doing that. But nonetheless, even though Titanfall 2, in my opinion, didn't have a real good, shot, it was just dealt unfairly, in my opinion. I felt like it was done unjustly by the developers to release it between the two biggest FPSs in the world. With that, I think that could potentially doom Titanfall 3 as we know it, which is, something that really is hard because I want to see a continuation of Titanfall 3, guys. I want to see a continuation of this franchise in the future. So I do think with Apex, they have something there that can help promote Titanfall 3. And like I said, the other way around as well. Titanfall 3 can be kind of integrated to help Apex Legends continue what they're doing, similar to what they're doing with Call of Duty. Call of Duty Warzone is being integrated into the newest Call of Duty, that being Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And so Warzone is promoting Black Ops Cold War. Black Ops Cold War will be promoting Warzone. And it's just like a happy marriage because they're both within the same universe. And there's still people, most people know this, but there are still people who don't even know that Apex is in the Titanfall universe. People don't realize that it is within that universe at this point in time. So I think that it would also really help to continue putting that spotlight on Apex, because that is probably going to be bigger than Titanfall 3 when Titanfall 3 releases. But I just think, guys, it makes sense. So when could we see it? Well, the developers, that being Respawn, have expressed that that Apex Legends, they are continuing, they're planning seasons ahead, and they're saying that people who are Titanfall fans will love to see what they're integrating and putting into Apex Legends. So I'm assuming, guys, that we will get an announcement at some point in 2021, unless it's been delayed because of the pandemic and things of that nature, where we would see the announcement in 2022. Maybe it comes out late 2022, maybe into 2023, just depending on where they are with the development. I absolutely believe that they are going to be working, if they're not already, on Titanfall 3. But we as a community have to continue pushing it, guys, whether it's through content on YouTube, whether it is, just on Twitter, on social media, wherever it is, we have to be consistently talking about it and trying to get this game made. Let me know though, guys. I mean, do you want to see a Titanfall 3? Or are you happy enough with just Apex Legends? Let's get a real conversation going, guys, in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think. And for more Titanfall 3 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. I'm super excited to announce, guys, my second YouTube channel. And honestly, guys, I have 3 channels up to this point. You got Zero TV, Zero 2, and now Zero. And guys, each one is separate and different in its own way. Obviously, Zero TV, you guys get all of the gaming and entertainment, that being like, the movie industry and things of that nature on Zero TV, what you're watching right now. Zero 2, guys, is more so where I have like highlights from my live streams and things of that nature. And then we have Zero, which this channel, guys, has been launched, and this is where you're going to be able to see my journey as an entrepreneur, as far as, talking about the stock market, what's happening in the stock market, talk about what's going on just around our world, other things that we find interesting. I, guys, for one, am very much so into the financial world. I love talking about it. And so if you guys are into the stock market, or learning more about how to be an entrepreneur, a businessman, and things of that nature, I kind of go through in great detail kind of the things that I do on a day-to-day basis, as far as from a business perspective, and that goes from the stock market to real estate to just being an entrepreneur and things of that nature. And so we launched this channel, guys, a number of days ago, and it's a channel similar to Zero TV, where I plan on uploading every single day, and just uploading a video for you guys where you'll be able to kind of take it in and start, learning more and more, whether it's about the markets, whether it's about just finance in general, how to be an entrepreneur, what I'm doing personally, the stocks I'm looking at, the different real estate properties I look at, and, just trying to kind of, I love learning from all of you guys, some of the things that you guys are doing in life. I like to try to share the things that I'm doing, and this is one of those things, guys. This is something that I have actually been planning on, starting this channel for quite some time, but I just, I've been so busy with Zero TV and then my, IRL job, and so it was just very difficult to be able to find the time to do it. And this is more, of course, just something that I really enjoy talking about, and I want to share some of those things I've learned along the way about the financial markets and things of that nature. So that's where it is, guys. Zero, you guys can expect videos every single day. I will put a link in the description down below that you guys can go check out my second channel. Obviously, Zero 2, we upload when we can, guys, but Zero and Zero TV are the 2 channels where we are uploading every single day, and we're making a conscious effort to do so. And we're on the pursuit, guys. We're trying to do this thing, and it's all because of you guys. I want to say thank you so much to everyone for all the support you guys are giving me. Just, obviously all of the, all the positives, all the negatives, everything that you guys, try to help me with, learning what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, and what I can do better moving forward. And that's the same exact thing here with my with Zero, with this, this next YouTube channel that we're starting here. I'm very excited about it. And look, guys, we are aggressively on the pursuit, trying to do this thing from a, on a full-time perspective. And I want to thank all of you for kind of being here throughout the course of this journey so far. And we're just getting started, and I'm really excited about this channel. I really am. I'm excited about this channel. Nothing is changing from, Zero TV's perspective. This channel will just be there for you guys if you want to watch and learn more about different ways that you can make money. And then, of course, from the entertainment and gaming side, Zero TV, you stay right here. But with that, guys, I want to just say thank you once again. Check out Zero. Any support you guys give me is absolutely amazing. Thanks once again, guys. I hope you all did enjoy this episode of The 8 Below Show. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.